When it comes time to eat the rotten chocolate, how do people respond to getting a taste of their own medicine? Realization and reflection. Some individuals might recognize their behavior reflected back at them, leading to introspection. They might see the impact of their actions from a new perspective, prompting a change in behavior or an apology. And I don't think that is the most part. For the most part, defensive. Often the immediate reaction can be defensiveness or denial. And they'll say they never did that. It didn't happen that way. People might feel attacked or unfairly treated even if they've previously dished out similar treatment to others. They might rationalize or justify their past actions while condemning the same behavior when directed at them. Anger and resentment. There might be a strong emotional response like anger, where the person feels victimized or seeks out retaliation. This is also a big one. When you retaliate or give reciprocity, they may seek to continue the cycle. This can sometimes escalate the situation rather than resolve it, as a cycle of negative behavior continues. And that is true. Hypocrisy. People might not see the irony in their actions where they criticize behavior in others that they exhibit themselves. This can lead to accusations of double standards, with the person not acknowledging their own similar actions. Happens a lot with folks. Learning and growth. In some cases, individuals use this experience as a learning opportunity. It can lead to personal growth, better empathy, and improved behavior in the future. They might appreciate the lesson, albeit painful, and strive to treat others better. And I might add that if they believe they are in the right, this rarely happens. Humor, depending on the context and the relationship between individuals involved, the situation might be diffused with humor. If the medicine is given in good spirit, it could lead to laughter and mutual understanding of past missteps. And I've had that happen a few times. Justification. They might argue that their actions were justified in context, whereas the same actions against them are not, often failing to see the contradiction. The large reaction largely depends on individuals' personalities, the nature of the relationship, the severity of the behavior, and the context in which this medicine is administered. Cultural norms, personal values, and emotional intelligence also play significant roles in how someone reacts. In general, well, it might seem like poetic justice, using someone's own methods against them isn't always the best strategy for conflict resolution or fostering understanding. It can sometimes lead to healing or change, but it can also escalate conflicts or deepen divides if not handled with care. And sometimes you don't care You want that satisfaction. You did something, you hurt me, I hurt you. You push, I push. You kick, I kick. The psychology of hypocrisy. So the psychology, hypocrites in psychological terms involve behaviors where individuals do not practice what they preach or fail to align their actions with their stated beliefs or morals. The psychology behind hypocrisy is complex and involves several elements. Number one, cognitive dissonance. One of the central theories explaining hypocrisy is Leon Fastinger's cognitive dissonance theory. When there's discrepancies between one's actions and beliefs, cognitive dissonance occurs, leading to psychological discomfort. Hypocrisy can be one way to manage this discomfort by either changing one's beliefs or rationalizing the behavior to reduce dissonance. People might justify their actions by altering their moral standards or by taking exceptions for themselves while maintaining those standards for others. Self-perception versus perception of others. A lot of people do not have self-perception or have self-awareness. There's often a discrepancy in how people view themselves versus how they view others. This is known as actor-observer bias, where individuals attribute their own behaviors to situational factors but judge others' behaviors as reflective of their character. Hypocrites might see their actions as justified due to unique circumstances, but condemn similar actions in others as moral failings. And I think I've perhaps even been guilty of this myself if there was a camera in front of me. Luckily, there wasn't. Moral hypocrisy. Research into moral hypocrisy shows that people often aim to appear moral rather than be moral. This can manifest when individuals promote moral values publicly while privately engaging in behaviors that contradict those values. This behavior is often motivated by the desire for social approval or to maintain a positive self-image without personal cost of true moral integrity. And people will preach on Saturday and Sunday, but sin on Friday. Defense mechanism. Hypocrisy can serve as a defense mechanism against facing one's own shortcomings. By focusing on the faults of others, individuals can avoid self-reflection on their own behaviors. This might also include projection, where one attributes one's own unacceptable thoughts or desires to others. Evolutionary psychology. From an evolutionary standpoint, hypocrisy might have offered survival benefits by allowing individuals to gain social advantage without the cost of consistently adhering to group norms. This can be seen in signaling theory, where hypocrites might signal virtue to gain social benefits, even if they don't genuinely hold those virtues. Social and cultural influences. The perception and practices of hypocrisy are influenced by cultural norms and societal expectations. In some contexts, hypocrisy might be more tolerated or even expected, particularly in political or public life, where the appearance of morality can be important than the practice of it. Emotional and psychological factors. Emotions like fear, insecurity, and lack of self-awareness can lead to hypocritical behaviors. People might condemn in others what they fear or dislike about themselves. That's been true in father and son, mother and daughter relationships. Or they might not recognize their hypocrisy due to the lack of introspection or insight into their own behaviors. Psychological research. Studies have shown that hypocrisy is not only about inconsistency, but also about the perception of insincerity or patience. It's not just the act of not following one's moral code, but also the act of pretending to uphold it. This perception can lead to strong negative reaction from others, as hypocrisy is often seen as a betrayal of trust or sincerity. In summary, hypocrisy is a multifaceted behavior rooted in cognitive, emotional, and evolutionary aspects of human psychology. It highlights the often complex relationships between self-perception, moral standards, and social behavior. Understanding hypocrisy involves recognizing that while it might be condemned, it's also a common human condition influenced by various psychological mechanisms. Now let's go into cognitive dissonance theory. Cognitive dissonance theory is let me take a quick drink of water. I'm going to take a look real quick at the StreamYard, see if anyone's on here. No one is on here, and I don't know, not too many people are listening. I'm going to take a quick sip of water as the sirens play. Let the sirens play while I take a quick sip of water. Again, cognitive dissonance theory is a key concept in social psychology, first proposed by Leon Fast. I believe it's Inger. Could have mispronounced it. Hopefully I haven't. In 1957, it deals with a psychological discomfort that arises from holding two or more contradictory beliefs or ideas, from engaging in behavior conflicts with one's beliefs or values. Here's the overview of the theory. Number one, dissonance as discomfort. Cognitive dissonance refers to the tension or discomfort one feels when there's an inconsistency between cognitive thoughts, beliefs, attitudes. This discomfort motivates individuals to resolve the inconsistency. Number two, motivation to reduce dissonance. People are motivated to reduce or resolve it's not saying dissidence because it's an unpleasant psychological state. They will seek consistency in their cognition to achieve psychological equilibrium. Ways to reduce dissonance. I thought there was a D in there for whatever reason. Change behavior or belief. One might alter one's behavior or change one's attitude or belief to align with each other. For instance, if someone smokes despite knowing it's harmful, they might quit smoking or convince themselves that the risk risks are exaggerated. Justify by changing the conflict cognition. If changing behavior or beliefs isn't feasible, individuals might justify their behavior by changing one of the conflict cognitions. For example, a smoker might downplay the health risks of smoking. Add new cognition, introducing new thoughts for our facts that support one side of the conflict can reduce dissonance. For example, a smoker might focus on the stress relief smoking provides. Post dissonance. After making a tough decision like choosing between two equally attractive job offers, one might experience dissonance and seek out information that confirms the choice was correct or devalue unchosen option. After justification, when people go through significant effort for something, they might increase their valuation of the thing to justify the effort, even if the outcome isn't as rewarding as expected. Induced compliance. When someone is induced to act contrary to their beliefs, like lying for reward, they might change their beliefs to match the behavior, especially if the reward isn't significant enough to justify the lie. It's kind of interesting, and there's Fast Burger's his experiments. I'll go on a little bit of this. I'm going to just post this real quick, and then he dealt with cognitive dissonance, and I'm kind of interesting. Select perception theory, and I think we all go through that. And in this day and age, people are often confused by their own biases. Anyway, I don't want to go through the whole thing and the motivating reasoning. This is when emotional or cognitive biases lead to conclusions that one wishes to reach. Selective perceptions can form motivated reasoning where the motivation is to maintain consistency with one's belief. And I think perhaps we all are, a lot of us do that. I don't know how much I do it in things like confirmation bias. But the ego is a very strong narcotic. And I will continue on this later on. Anyway, I have to get myself going. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below.